Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Carly.
And I'm Ange.
And today we're watching Hunter x Hunter episode 136.
So the last episode was exceptional. Peak, we call it.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good. Didn't expect the arc to end like that. I mean, we've got one more episode now, but didn't expect Meruem's end to come like that. I thought it was done really beautifully. We went through our thoughts pretty extensively in the last discussion, but we'll go through our thoughts on this arc after this episode. So today we're doing the one episode because the discussion might be slightly longer, and then we'll begin with the double uploads in the next video. I'll also probably do another cover. If it's not in the next video, it'll be on the one after. I've got something special planned, so it might take me a little bit longer to get it done. But yeah, in terms of what to expect in this episode, I don't know. I thought we've we haven't wrapped up everything actually. We've got Colt still.
Yeah.
We got the baby.
I'd love to touch base with them.
Yeah, and then we've got Gon as well in his current state. So there's a little bit to do still in this episode. If you guys are interested in signing up to our Patreon, you'll gain 3 to 4 weeks of early access to our current shows, and you'll also find reactions that are exclusive to our Patreon. If you're interested, you can check out our link in the description below. But anyway, should we get into it?
Let's get into it.
NGL の両国は国際保安維持機構が暫定的に統治し、事実上の敗北となった。両国合わせて500万人の生存者。
That shot of the flowers was crazy.
保護区の管轄責任等のすべてはハンター協会に一任されることとなった。
I always read that as not gonna lie.
俺は多分ジャイロの部下じゃなく NGL の住民だったってことだろうな。
Just gonna try to remember who he is.
まだ無理強いはしねえよ。他の国よりはまだ安全だろうしな。
Yeah, they need to lay low.
いや、あれはなんつうか、お前らに近いんじゃねえかな。どういう意味だ。目の光っつうのか、見てる先っつうのか、なんかこうパッと見で分かっちまうんだ。ああ、こいつ覚えてる方だなっていうのがよ。まあもう会うこともねえだろうが、元気でな。おう、おめえも死ぬまで死ぬまで。
Wait, that's some great advice.
He's been through a lot, Carly. Oh. Okay.
Looks sad.
He's lost.
Wow.
Never liked this one. Just. Oh. Oh. We getting a Heineken sponsorship in here?
Yeah, I know, right?
That's crazy.
Okay, relax. Wasn't quite like that.
He doesn't deserve it. You think that's Colt's little sister?
Kurt.
Yeah.
Kurt and his, yeah, I was actually thinking that just now.
Is that why
will
she's so
cry
scared to
if
be
it
there?
is, yeah.
信じてもらえねえかもしれねえけど聞くだけ聞いてもらえるかいあんたたちだけが頼りだ
Oh, this poor woman. Oh my gosh.
It is, damn it. Wow. Guess her mother knows. Mm. He's got to find his way back, surely.
Oh, they will accept her.
Oh.
いや俺はいいよ
Oh, come on.
He's got to find his way.
これで借りは返したからなタコ野郎
Oh.
俺を見なでってんじゃねえ
Oh.
Does he remember something?
なんだこれなんだよなんだこれ
I don't think so, but maybe they can be like part of his new life.
ブーだ故郷へ戻る
I hope they're not having seafood.
まいい魔獣を演じてくれりゃ何の問題もないそっちは何か変わりないかいや実は気になることがあって
Show us
Oh,
the
no.
baby.
あレイナなんだな名前が違うって言うんだじゃあ一体
Meryl Emma. Emma for short. What the hell? Huh?
So,
He was like reborn in her? Wait.
oh, so the queen must have had eaten some of Kite?
The arm.
I don't know. Or his mind. Because you know how he's been put back together? I don't know what she ate, but...
専門機関をこちらへ移動させろ彼は英雄でそれだけの働きをした費用は全て私が持つ
Wow.
必要とあればこの病院ごと作り変えることになるとにかく絶対にゴンは死なせない
Until he sees Kite.
Yeah. Crazy as shit.
結局お前一人で片付けちまったなでもそれでも一緒に倒そうって言ってほしかった
He didn't let Killua in at all.
行こう
あれはチームとしてだったのかそれとも友 達としてだったのか。
Interesting.
やってやるよ。でも今回だけは許さない。
Set some boundaries.
謝れよ。
Yeah, shit.
医者の方は頼むよ。それも必要だ。俺が戻るまでは。ゴンを助けるのは俺だ。
Does he mean like mentally save him?
I don't know, I kind of imagined him being like, and then like restarting his heart, like the defibrillator thing.
会長やめるからあとはよろしく。わしからの条件はハンター全員による投票で、投票率 95% 未満なら無効再選挙。
Wow.
記入方式とか細かいことは12人みんなで決めてくれ。達成
It almost has to be unanimous.
Mm.
じゃあ頼んだぞ。達者でな。
So he rocks up to this. You're gonna be so mad right now.
This is the worst character of all time. I can't handle this man.
Jing. Or, better known as Jing.
It stands for get in the garbage.
Okay. Yeah.
This guy's pissed me off. I'm not gonna go into it. Yeah, some nice things happened in that episode. I thought the Raina stuff was really nice. Returning back to her village.
Having her mum in the village accept her.
Yeah, that was really nice. But there was one big twist that happened, right? And that was you end up kind of getting your way there. Kite is somewhat alive.
I'll take it. Not quite the same as what I expected, but I'll take it.
That's why the little girl was
Oh,
slashing everything
yeah.
or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay.
And the hair was the same.
Was the hair the same?
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
Like you saw,
okay.
it was like it came out in such a way that was similar to Kite's.
Interesting. So the queen must have been fed part of Kite. I imagine the brain. Kite's been put together, right? Kite's like a zombie. There's no Kite's
Yeah.
brain's not there.
Okay. I guess that's the explanation.
And now this is the result of it. That could lead to some cuteness. Maybe Gon and this girl can be friends.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe
Or
Gon
something.
can be what Kite was to him, to the
Yeah.
girl,
Maybe.
to the new Kite.
Yeah, something like that. They could do some full circle writing there. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he just needs that hope that there's a new, renewed Kite.
Yeah, it'll give him something to live for.
Yeah.
Because he thought there was nothing else to live for.
Mm.
The whole Killua Gon scene was interesting too.
Yeah, I wonder if he meant like physically, like with his electricity or whatever, like resetting his heart. You know how they do that with the defib?
Yeah, he just said, I'll save Gon, but
He's like, yeah, get the doctors still, but I'll do it in the meantime. What were you thinking?
I thought it was more like figuratively or something.
Mm.
I don't know. I'm kind of happy that he wants an apology.
Yeah, I like that because it kind of links back to the whole thing with Ikalgo. Like, friends don't say thank you, but in this case, they do apologize. Like, he does owe Killua that.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't see Ikalgo, actually. He seemed to have a pretty important role in the episode anyway. Welfin, brought him up too. And
Yeah.
is it Bravuda?
Bravado?
No.
Brovada.
Something
Bro.
like that. Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, that some of the ants can like live in peace now. They're considered magical beasts.
Magical beasts.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Now some different sort of questions arise, and I don't know how much they're going to do. We know that Hunter x Hunter's unfinished, so I'm not sure what's in store for the next 14 episodes or something like that. So we do finish it in a couple of weeks. But I guess now we'll talk about like the arc in pretty great detail, because the arc spanned across pretty much an anime's worth, right, of episodes.
Yeah.
So we started in like, I think it was episode 70...
4, 5, or 6.
Yeah, 74, I'm going to say, something like that. And we ended it in 136. So you got 62 episodes. Is my math correct?
Quick math. Will I check?
If it started in 74, that is. I'm not sure, but...
That's right.
Yeah, but I don't... yeah, okay, we'll go with that. But that's pretty long, isn't it? That's as long as Full Metal Alchemist, pretty much.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it was pretty extensive. There's a lot to talk about.
Mm.
I think I'll start off by saying that it definitely had, like, this arc definitely had the best episodes of the series for me comfortably, I think, too. Just because the way the stakes are set up with the arc and the serious nature to the arc and all of that, especially when you consider how Hunter x Hunter started off, Pokemon vibes, I think I said. um, yeah, like, and I can see why a lot of people have said, this is their favorite arc, this is their favorite shonen arc that they've ever seen, and all of that, because, the heights that it reaches, it's really impressive, and it happens in an unconventional way too. I feel like all the peak episodes of the arc haven't been, like, I'm gonna say, inspired by other work. I think the author was very original in his approach
I agree.
to to those peak moments, and I think that's why they also hit really hard. So
Yeah.
I want to start off by saying that as well.
And it was very impressive because that also made it not very easy to predict what was happening next. There's no way you could have imagined, like, the trajectory of the entire arc.
Yeah.
There's no way you would have guessed that it ended in the way that it did.
Yeah, 100%. What I actually really liked was I found myself most invested in Meruem and the King's Guards, which is quite odd because they're like the bad side, right? I thought that they were comfortably, and in fact, I wouldn't even say it was close, the most compelling characters in the arc, especially Meruem. Really well written villain. I know Gon had his moments too. Actually, I want to give some credit to Netero as well. Dude had me hyped up, but in terms of like an emotional sort of on a deeper level, I was more invested in the King's Guards and Meruem.
Yeah.
And just how like Meruem was used along with Gon, even though these two characters don't really interact at all throughout the whole arc. They were both used sort of against each other in a writing sense, which I thought was really powerful at times. If I was to choose a favorite episode of the arc, it has to be 135. Like, Carly and I were actually, we went out for dinner that night, and we were just talking about it at dinner. Like, so when we're talking about an episode that we've seen afterwards too,
Yeah.
like, usually when filming's done, and we kind of just, might think about it for a bit, but just kind of move on. But like, we were thinking about it 3-4 hours later, and then like the next day. So
Yeah.
that's how you know that the episode had a really great impact. I think 131 was great, obviously, as well. And
Yeah, it was amazing. They were both very good for very different reasons.
yeah, I think so. Yours would have been 135 too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And we'll get into that in a sec. But big shout out to episodes 112 and 113. I actually don't see them spoken about a lot ever since we watched them, and I think I proclaimed, and you did too, actually, in the video, that they were our favorite episodes
Yeah.
up until that point. No one was really saying that, but those episodes, I thought they were a really good demonstration of what Togashi was trying to actually do with the
Yeah.
arc. I thought they were really, really top-notch episodes. Now, as a whole, I actually think the York New arc was better. It could be controversial. I have seen a lot of people say that they preferred York New. I actually did it as a whole, but the peak York New episodes for me don't even touch the peak Chimera Ant arc episodes. It's interesting,
isn't it?
Yeah. Like, I think York New, it was just shorter, and I thought it was paced a lot better, and I thought more of the characters were compelling, whereas I found just a small handful of the characters in this arc compelling. But I still think the peak episodes go to this arc.
Yeah, I have to agree. I'd probably put them peak of like all peak, like of all series.
Yeah.
Those episodes were like up there.
Yeah, they're some of my favorite. Like, if someone was to get me to list, I don't know, like, we've seen a lot of anime episodes now in the last 2 years, but like, let's just say we had to choose like a top 20, which is hard to do considering we've
Yeah.
watched hundreds, almost thousands. It'd be close. We've watched a lot of anime episodes.
Oh wow.
We'd probably put a few Hunter x Hunter ones in there for sure. So that was definitely what impressed me most about the arc, just how some of those episodes were able to hit. Actually, obviously, when we're about to go into our criticisms of the arc, I'm actually not going to direct any of it to the writer himself, because I actually think he was pretty flawless in his approach and his writing in this arc. Sitting with these episodes, I've kind of found where my criticism actually lies, especially at the end of it, because then you've got all the pieces, right?
Yeah.
I actually think it kind of came down to the studio, in my opinion. Some people have been struggling to understand where my criticism, or what my criticisms are in terms of pacing. Some people have mistaken it to be like, I just wanted the main fight to commence. Some people think that I just wanted all the elevator stuff to go. I don't think it's that. I think when you spend too long on something after an absolute high, you break up the momentum, and it kind of kills your vibe. And I'm a person, when I'm watching something, I want to be in there and immersed. And I just found myself getting taken out too often in the arc. That was my problem with the arc. Don't mind the slow build up because then otherwise those moments don't hit, right? You see Gon, you got this thing building in Gon, and if it doesn't last that long, it won't hit when he explodes, right?
Yeah.
Same with the Meruem and Kamugi thing that was dealt with really well. But there's no way you guys are telling me that like they couldn't have condensed down the relevant information. And that's where I'm gonna talk about the narrator. And again, this is the studio. This is not the writer. This is not Togashi. He's got nothing to do with this. I loved the narrator in some episodes, and then as we went on in the arc, he just slowed everything down way too much. Explained way too much that was pretty obvious that didn't need to be explained. And it's just slowed down some of the episodes, and it took me out of it a little bit. So that's where my criticism. I don't know what you feel about this arc or how you feel about this arc compared to me, but that's where my criticisms come from. I think it comes from the breakup in momentum, and like we put 2 random Phantom Troop episodes in the middle of things too. Like it's kind of just where things were placed. That's the best way I can put it. Definitely not a hater of the arc. Like if you were to tell me Chimera arc is my favorite arc of all time, that's fine. Like that's not a based opinion. I can see why. I thought the writing was great. Big fan of a lot of the peak episodes. That's just my opinion. I don't know where you land on some of them.
I think you explained it pretty well. I think you explained it in a way that I probably didn't really have the words to.
Oh, but how did you? I'm asking you. Like, how did you feel about the arc?
Overall, it was absolutely incredible. Like from the start, I remember feeling like really excited. Like when we met Kite and when we met the Queen Anne and all of that, I was like, ooh, like even when poor little Kurt and Raina got killed, I was like mortified, but I was happy to be mortified. I was like, oh, this is gonna be like
it's intense,
and I'm gonna feel something, and I did. And you're right. I think you're right about all the pacing issues and things like that. I felt the same. Yeah. But overall, like
it hit those highs
so good. And I think if I step away, I think we might be different here, but I think if I step away from Hunter x Hunter for a little bit, the Chimera Anne arc is going to be the arc that comes to mind when I think of it.
I know, I think it will be for me too.
Oh, right.
Even though York New was my favorite arc as a whole, if I went back to watch Hunter x Hunter, I'd want to watch these peak moments that I just watched.
Yeah.
Right? So another thing I want to say too, and I'm not trying to disrespect the studio at all. In fact, I'm trying to credit Togashi, to be honest, because it's his baby. I think they also made, and a lot of people have agreed with me, this is not a based opinion, but I think they did make a bit of a mistake with Gon's first interaction with Kite. Because then you realise how pivotal it actually is to the entire arc.
Yes, episode 131 was so good, but like imagine
if they did it correctly.
Yeah, I agree with you on that too.
All they needed to do, and it's so simple, and this is what's a little bit frustrating. You know when Gon's trying to figure out who that figure is?
Yeah.
Just run up to him and hug him or something.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just make him realise like,
you've got that. You've got that connection there you see between the two characters, right? Straight away. And then everything would have hit a lot different. Yeah. I just think something so simple, I wouldn't have taken a lot to figure out to do that, in my opinion. I just think it was a bit of a silly mistake. But yeah, as a whole, definitely hit a lot of the highs, and a lot of those episodes will stick with me. It was really good.
Definitely.
I was talking to a few people who had seen Hunter x Hunter, and they were really looking forward to us getting to this specific moment of the show. And I think the really good thing about the arc was, even though we had some issue with some of the pacing maybe in the middle, it ended like the last maybe 10 to 15 episodes, or we'll say the last 10 episodes were all phenomenal. Yeah. And it ended off quite well. I think everything was wrapped up really nicely.
Thank you so much for watching our reaction. If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. It would really help us out. For early access to all of our reactions, you can support us on Patreon if you'd like. And yeah, thank you so much again. We'll see you in the next one. Bye!